and welcome to the channel. When I bought my BMW F87 M2 competition, I bought it with the DCT, the dual-clutch transmission, as opposed to the 6-speed manual. I've had manual transmissions before, but this car, I wanted the faster transmission. I intend to do some autocross and some light track, with my car, and I thought that this would be the best choice
experience
for
every
me.
time I get in.
So there are some things that you might want to know before you consider buying a BMW F87 with the DCT.
Alright,
Let's
so
look.
I'll put the car into, sport steering. I like that. I like the feel of the sport steering. And with the MDM off, I should get a little bit more resonance, but you can hear what it sounds like in the interior here. Kind of step on the brake over here. In order to start the car, you have to step on the brake pedal. And that's how it sounds like from inside. So anyway, as a daily driver after 7 months, I got really used to the paddle shifters. And the paddle shifters are an interesting subject for me because they're really not as functional on this car as they could be for a couple of reasons. First of all, here they are, and they are attached. They are attached to the back of the steering so that when you turn the steering, it turns with you. Now, as you know, when you're driving and you cross your hands, and as you bring your hands over, here's where your shift points are. So when you're running, at some point you might want to be turning and do a little shifting while you're turning. Or you're coming through a turn and you want to drop it down a notch and come out of the turn a little bit harder. Your shift might be all the way around. You're working up over here with your hands on the steering wheel in proper positioning, and you might have your gear shift levers down here. So there are extensions that people could buy. There's some people who say, well, it should be attached to the steering wheel because you don't want to shift unless you're in this position. No. Horse manure. I like to shift when I would like to shift at certain points. I go by more of the feel of my car, and there are certain times I need to shift and my steering might be in a more awkward position to be making my shifts, in a more vertical position at a 90 or 270. So with that, I know that certain car manufacturers, who will be nameless, do have the paddle shifters attached, fixed, directly to the steering column, and this way if they're turning they can still register their hands where they need to. So that's interesting. So here we go. Now in the M2, the first thing for those of you who are new to the M2, obviously you have to put your foot on the brake, and I have to push over and shift it up. The DCT is very, very unique. As you know, you have to hold your brake and you have to feather your brake. You have to apply it very, very lightly. You apply it very, very lightly because the car will jerk and it'll throw you forward or backwards if you press it too hard. So you have to be very careful. Now, the DCT going forward, all you have to do, it engages, is you tap it. You just tap it lightly and it'll slowly go forward and it'll take you through your first, second, third gears. You don't have to give it the gas or give it the beans, as I heard one YouTuber say. And when you do, the car will move forward smoothly. Now, this car's got a lot of power. Stock, 404 horsepower? So if you go too quick, this car will lurch forward. And it does, and it'll buck you forward. And if you hit the brake a little too hard, it's very, very, very stiff brake, then you got to be really careful. It'll throw you through the glass or whatever. So, treat this car a little bit differently than you would a regular automatic, is I guess where I'm going with this. It's not just drop it into automatic and drive. You have to learn how to kind of do your right foot control, alternating between your gas pedal and your accelerator pedal and your brake pedal. And you got to learn that little dance step. Driving the M2, you got to learn how to feather the brake pedal and the accelerator pedal. The accelerator pedal and the brake pedal, when you first start the car and you first start rolling, it's a symphony. You have to work it back and forth together so that you operate it smoothly and you don't lurch forward or you don't aggressively, drop back. So here, I'm going to turn then. This car with the carbon fiber, I have to be very careful going up into driveways. So coming through a parking lot, why it's not the best daily driver is because you still have to finesse between your accelerator and your brake pedal so you don't lurch forward too quickly and you're not stopping short, and it requires a more precise motion and movement than, say, your normal automatic transmission and other cars, which are definitely better suited for daily driving. This is more of a weekend car. All right, now you can see as I'm coming through this parking lot, I am going to go back and forth between my foot pedal and the accelerator pedal because it runs forward. I can use my left foot to kind of hold it on, but really you're going to have to learn to dance back and forth. So now I'm moving forward, I tap it, the car glides, and now I control it with the brake, and now I'm going to make my turn and I'm going to go. And I'm able to, once I'm rolling, I can depress it very lightly. Because if I drop it to a quarter, if I drop the accelerator down too much, this car will shoot out of the parking lot. It'll shoot out into traffic, and truthfully, the way it's designed, the rear will kick out, and you'll have to drift your car into your lane, which can be fun in M-Town. Okay, so where else is the M2 after 7 months, 8 months, not such a great daily driver? Well, here, traffic. Because aside from what I call the M2 dance step, which is that shuffle between getting the car rolling with your DCT, you gotta learn, it's not an automatic. And that dance step in traffic could be, frustrating if you don't have just precise control, shifting back and forth. See, you gotta tap it just to keep it rolling, and then, you're on your brake. You see? Now, if I want to accelerate coming out, you got to remember there's a difference between just a tap on the accelerator and pushing down the accelerator pedal full throttle. The DCT or the dual-clutch transmission is a great option if you want a faster transmission for $2,400 US. But it doesn't replace the feeling that you get from the road of the 6-speed manual. Please subscribe and like our videos. Thanks for watching.